right.
Cheers.
We are here.
We're on holiday.
On another episode of Music Sucks Podcast.
The Clown.
All right. So for this episode here, we are doing
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath,
Master of the Void. Oh.
Bro, isn't this like your favorite album?
What's it called again?
Master of Reality.
Master of the Void, right.
Right, okay, cool.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got another beer. Okay.
Cool. So
Cool.
Master
All right, that's
of
it.
Reality is some good old early doom metal, heavy metal from the early 70s.
How early is it? Let me
71.
pull up my notes. Give me a minute.
It came out on my birthday, July 21st of 1971. Actually, that was the day I was born.
Okay, so how about we celebrate Master of Reality, and then we can do your birthday the next day.
Okay.
All right, so third studio album by Black Sabbath.
After Paranoid, right?
Yes, and their first one was their self-titled one. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly.
that album's
I don't know
crazy.
exactly, but third album, they definitely felt like they had a lot more freedom on this album to kind of do whatever they want. It was released in July 27th.
21st.
Oh, sorry, I forgot your birthday.
That's
July
fine, I don't even know
21st.
yours at all.
July 21st, 1971. It was recorded. It only took them about 2 months to record it. Of the same year, earlier that year, February to April. Regarded as a foundation of doom metal, stoner rock, and sludge metal.
Stoner rock. What does that mean?
Well, stoner metal is a little heavier than that. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. You're not gonna listen
I'm usually
to
the genre guy, but I've never heard of stoner as a prefix for a genre.
Well, you'll never listen to The Who when you're stoned. I mean, you might, but if you do, then you fucked up because Black Sabbath is the way to go.
Okay. But
I don't
this
know. They
isn't
were
like,
stoned the whole time the album was
when I
being
think of
made.
stoner
So
music,
maybe
I
that's
think of
why.
like Amber, or sorry, I always think of like 311 and Sublime.
I could see that. I could see that being stoner,
Right.
but that's definitely not stoner rock. But it's
Okay.
definitely stoner music.
Okay, I guess there's a difference. Or like even Dark Side of the Moon is stoner music, but it's not stoner rock.
No, definitely not stoner rock.
Okay. Is that a real
I mean-
genre?
I mean,
or is
yeah,
that like a
yeah, I mean-
subcultural thing?
I mean, they were high for most of the album, and even their first song on the album is literally about
yeah.
weed. So you know,
That's true.
where's Pink Dark Side of the Moon song about weed? You know, so produced
I
by
guess you got me
Roger
there.
Bain. He produced their previous two, and he's also done some work on Judas Priest albums.
Whoa, hold on. I just looked at the track listing. The U.S. listing has two,
I know it's the
two
same
more-
song. It's the same songs from what I know.
There's 11 songs. Oh, but it's the same length. Oh, okay.
yeah.
So they just cut it up
So
different?
yeah, the U.S.
Okay.
and the U.K. This is a British band, so their track listing when they released it was a little different, but same
Weird.
length. So
But they still kept Embryo at 29 seconds, but cut another song up to be shorter too. And now they
Whatever.
have there's another 30-second song and a 45-second song. Very unnecessary and dumb.
I've never if it's not the same music, I've never heard it. So whatever. I know that everything was kind of down tuned for the album, as far as like the tuning pegs on the instruments.
On the
They tuned it
pegger?
down because it provided like a sludgier sound, and it hurt the guitarist's fingers because he actually had like two of his fingers
Chopped off?
cut off in a factory
Oh,
when he
I
was
was
working.
about to make a joke, but he actually lost fingers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he had him cut off, the Tony Iommi, and so it
So the
didn't hurt his
guitar-
fingers as much
so
when
the
they released some tension in the strings. It didn't hurt his fingers as much.
Oh, so he was more free for this album, like his fingers were more free.
yeah, it didn't hurt him as much. So he was like
Ah.
willing to like, and it
Shred
provided
more?
a heavier sound anyway. So
Yeah, okay.
a sludgier sound. So again, just like we just talked about Abbey Road, another album that was received by critics pretty poorly, and then again retrospectively became like the pioneer of like this type of
Paranoid was the pioneer because it came first.
Yeah, but that's more rock than it is metal. This album is a lot more metal.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's kind of a pioneer of.
Isn't their
this
first
kind of
album
metal.
heavier than Paranoid?
No. This is probably their heaviest
Oh, okay.
album up to date.
Okay.
I know that Volume 4 is pretty heavy as well, but
Interesting.
which is their fourth one, yeah. So that one's pretty heavy too. But Master Reality, super heavy. The volume on the production was like lowered, or on the mastering, it was lower, and I think that adds so much to the album. Like a lot of modern heavy metal is like produced and cranked, not to a point where it's like clipping or anything, but I don't know, it just sounds retro heavy metal, and
Yeah.
it's I think that's the whole character that the album takes, and that's why one of the reasons I like it so much, just how like down tuned everything is, how low the volume is.
Something interesting you told me was that, explain the thing you said about Jack Black's face.
Oh yeah. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Jack Black in movies, and maybe School of Rock or Tenacious D or whatever. He's always making like the heavy face where he's like, and he's like ready to shred, and like that's the face that this album reminds me of. Is like you're playing the bass or the guitar.
We always,
you know, that's and it feels so.
we always
just
play
feels
the
so
album
raw.
while we're setting up, and he wasn't even helping set up much at all. He was just standing up and just going like this and shredding along to
Dude,
the
I
songs.
fucking love this album. So, yeah, received now retrospectively as one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. The guitarist, Tony Iommi, the guy who had his fingers shredded, he did most of the production, as well as on subsequent albums. But I mean, he was kind of the production guy. I think he worked with one other guy, but obviously the guy who helped produce Judas Priest stuff, Roger Bain. So him and Roger Bain really produced this album, just the two of them. I remember reading a quote from Ozzy. So he was asked, "What do you remember about recording that?" And he says, "Apart from the fact that Tony detuned his guitar to make it easier, Geezer wrote Sweet Leaf about all the dope we'd been smoking, and Children of the Grave was the most ass-kicking song we've ever recorded." So that's the kind of vibe they went into with recording this. They were like, all right, we can do what we want. And like, let's just like kick some ass and fucking do what we want, you know? And the coughing on Sweet Leaf was recorded after
that part is
Iommi
cool.
hit a
We'll have to
joint,
get
he
into
fucking and then they looped it a little bit. And
yeah, we'll get into that because that part is sick.
the bassist, though, Geezer Butler, was the primary
I thought you said he was the
lyricist.
drummer.
No, I must have mixed that up.
Geezer Butler.
What's the drummer's name again?
Geezer Butler.
Geezer Butler is the
That's a name, isn't it?
bassist.
Geezer Butler.
What's the drummer's name again?
Nirvana.
He's super iconic too.
Ozzy.
Bill Ward? That sounds like it, but that maybe.
Bill Ward. What a
Yeah, I
dork
think it's
name.
just Bill Ward.
We got. I was just looking for all the blue links.
Yeah.
And yeah, he doesn't even get a blue link because nobody cares about him.
Bill Ward? He's got
Yeah.
no blue link on Wikipedia.
Oh no, there he is. Bill Ward.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. All Tony Iommi, Ozzy, the bassist Geezer, and Bill Ward, all amazing artists. This was like, I think, one of the most perfect groups to get together. They never had any like, I mean, I don't want to say never, but for this album, they never had any crazy disagreements. You know, they were all like, let's just like write some ass kicking music, as Ozzy said, and
Came here to do two things: chew bubble gum and
kick some ass.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
What's that from?
Duke Nukem, like a '90s video game.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yes, sir. They were all out of bubble gum when making this.
Oh
album.
yeah, for sure. They were ready to kick some ass. And I like it, dude. I like this. I like the way this album sounds. I'm not a big metal guy, but this album,
Not at all. He's not.
this album digs. This album
Rock
digs
and roll,
you.
man.
This album digs into you and just fucking grabs you by the throat and just.
The biggest shame for me.
Rock on.
The biggest shame for me is that the only good song is 28 seconds long.
That would be a shame, I guess, if
they-
you're a little bitch.
They just turned that song to the whole album and just dumped everything else. Probably would have.
It wouldn't have been that album. All right, let's get
All right,
into
let's get into the actual track listing.
the
though.
track for track. What do we got?
Sweet Leaf. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right, so
the
this
intro
is
is
the
really
song that
cool.
everybody learns on guitar.
Very
by the way.
loud. It's like I remember when I had my Bluetooth speaker turned up pretty loud, and the coughing was like way in my face, and
It
then
did
just
sound
get
like it was
straight
clipping
into.
a little bit on the coughing.
It was freaking. That's cool though. It's like a very
Yeah.
brash way to like kind of wake up. This freaking album's on, everyone. And it just gets right into this freaking rock.
It's just about
heavy,
smoking weed.
Yeah.
It really is what it's about. So,
yeah.
lyrics aren't anything crazy, but it's a good song. I mean,
It's funny. I said it was kind of like the classic
I gotta be drinking
hard
more
rock Black Sabbath banger, catchy guitar riff, and like Ozzy shouting something you can't understand him. He's going. I think he's saying actual words, but
right, and it sounds a lot like we're describing like modern metal or other types of metal, but this is a little different. Can't you at least admit that it's a little different in the way they produced it? Like it sounds unique.
Yes, all of Sabbath. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I was like an expert in like the evolution of metal, I'm sure there are other artists who did the Sabbath sound, but yeah, this doesn't sound anything like metal of the current or of the 80s.
That's what I'm saying, and it's that like
it's more
characteristic
it seems more raw.
alone that pulls me in, and I'm like, whoa, like this is something I've never heard, but it still resembles like something of now, and I don't know, it's awesome experience for me. This album's awesome. This song's awesome. What do we got next?
It is an awesome song, but
After
it's like
Forever?
the thing is this album, like I said, it's just them like rocking and rolling, and so there's not gonna be all that much to say about the songs, but I do have some opinions on this next song.
After Forever?
Yeah.
Christian song? This is a Christian song. I mean, it's about the
Are
lyrics
they
are
Christian? Or is it just like for the giggles?
No, I don't think it was like Christian. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was necessarily an attack on Christian ideology, but I also don't want to say it was like in support of Christian ideology. But I think it was just talking about it in general.
Okay.
I don't think they conveyed.
Okay, yeah. Look, it's what it says is, in keeping with their wishes to remain a democratic band. That has nothing to do with the Democratic Party, because UK it's totally
Right.
different. Some religious and conservative groups viewed Black Sabbath as Satanists due to their dark sound and image. After Forever was released as a single, seemingly to kind of combat that idea. So maybe it was like, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, they're not. They're not Satanists, and they're not.
Okay, yeah. Look, Geezer Butler was brought up strictly Catholic, and he focuses on Christian themes in this song.
Yeah.
Okay, so this song was probably made like, yo, look, we're not actually. You don't need to be scared of us. We're
Right.
Yeah, but the song actually sucks.
But they actually lit their drummer on fire, so maybe they are Satanists.
This song sucks. This song sucks.
It's
Sucks.
the worst song on the album, and I actually just went in and changed my score.
Down.
I dropped it 1. I mean, we'll go over that in scores, but
kind of sucks, dude.
I mean, the synth in the beginning is kind of sick.
Okay,
and then,
so I was stoked. I'm like, okay, we're opening. It's like,
Right.
And it's this cool, like, layered synth. And then it just gets into this, like, goofy, not heavy, not intimidating, not cool, not Black Sabbath sounding riff that just is goofy.
I can
It's
agree.
lame.
It's not
It's like a
goofy, but
it's goofy.
it is not goofy.
It sounds like what it reminds me of is like
Octopus's
no.
Garden. When you call that goofy, that sounds fine. But when you
Okay,
call this
no.
goofy, that
This
doesn't make sense.
reminds me of like the intro music that played for like a 90s sitcom. Bam, 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 bam. When you got this tambourine.
Yeah, but then it goes into the.
Yeah, that part's okay. That part is cool. That part's cool.
But
it
that's
keeps
how it
going
remains the
back-
rest of the
No,
song.
it keeps
Mostly,
going back
I
to
mean,
that
yeah, it goes
stupid,
back every now and
like
again. But
Friends theme song. It ruins the song because.
But
this
the bass
Black
is sick. It goes
Sabbath,
like a
bro.
in that
I
part.
can't hear it over the.
Dude,
tambourine,
Geezer stands
bro.
out in all of Black Sabbath. You
Dude,
gotta
can
focus
you
on
imagine
bass.
Ozzy Osbourne like smiling with a tambourine going? It's like it's not
Yeah,
Black
actually,
Sabbath.
I can
dude.
do that.
Cut that
I
part
can
out of the song.
imagine that.
It's goofy.
It's not
okay,
goofy.
the part after the Friends theme song is good though. I do like that. It sounds good. I
But
like
that
the riff.
the song in general doesn't
But
doesn't make
the
up for
lyrics are a
song.
bit cringy too. Like,
I mean,
would you
Black
like
Sabbath.
to see a pope on the rope? Or it's like something like that. Like it's so like just goofy.
Black Sabbath's never been
It's
known
just-
for its lyrics. They've been known for their, let's smoke some weed and just rock out.
It's not. This is not rocking out, bro. This song.
It's rocking out.
It's a '90s sitcom of a song. If it wasn't for the following guitar riff making up for the intro and the
Would've
bad
been a
lyrics,
-1.
it would have been a -1. Yes.
Right.
But for me, it's just
Probably the most
It's just
skippable song on
okay.
the album.
it's just okay, leaning dislikable. But I wouldn't go out as far as say, okay, this song, I actually dislike the song. It just kind
The
of
first two
just
words
kinda
of your
sucks.
notes, song sucks.
It just
I looked over
sucks.
and
It's
saw
just
that.
it just kind of sucks. This song's not that good.
I bet if somebody covered it, it would be good.
You know what it sounds like? This song sounds like what rock sounds like to people who don't like rock. Just like edgy vocals and like rock and roll, but it's not that cool. It's
It's
like,
better than anything the Scorpions did.
I like Winds of Change. It's a good song.
Or what's that? What's the band The Survivor or whatever, who
Eye
made
of the
Eye of the
Tiger?
Tiger? That band fucking sucks.
Yeah, they're known for one
Queen's
song. Did they even
alright,
make?
I guess. But
Oh my god!
we'll do a
Aaron.
Queen album.
You haven't even listened to a Queen album, have you?
Yes, I have. They all have Bohemian Rhapsody is pretty sick, but anybody could say that.
Okay, fair enough.
Night at the
song-
Opera or whatever.
Song sucks. Yeah, that's the album.
Yeah,
Yeah, song sucks. It's.
it's all right. I gave it a 1. I like it.
I give it a 0, leaning negative, but the other guitar riff makes up for it. What can I say? But
Fair enough.
Embryo,
Embryo
the
is
only
an
good
amazing
song.
Again, another amazing
No,
song.
so yeah, this is literally just 27 seconds of this really cool guitar riff, and it's cool because
It's two guitars.
Yeah, two guitars going
Yeah,
at it.
it's two
It
guitars,
almost-
and they're
it-
both like communicating with each other in a way.
They're doing the same. They're doing the same.
Definitely the most
chord.
beautiful song on the album by far. I mean, it's not. It doesn't get heavy. It's just a beautiful. Orchid and Solitude are close to it, but
And
this
Solitude,
one
yeah.
is a little bit more interesting, more texture to
It
the
is
song.
interesting. Like they're doing the same chord progression. I think I'm not too technical on guitar.
No, it is. It's just they're
But it's
switching
different
octaves.
notes or octaves.
Yeah,
okay,
they're switching
So it's like
octaves.
going up and down, and it's like, whoa, this sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's
It
sick.
is really
it's
cool.
sick. It's
I
super
really
simple.
I really
Anybody
wish-
can play it on
yeah.
guitar, but it's amazing. Like the way they produce it sounds really good.
I wish they developed it
They
into like
they
a full,
made
full
something that
song.
wasn't metal, and then like metal production, and that's how it sounds, and it's awesome. The metal production, when I say that, I mean like just the production of the rest of the album. So not really metal production. It's not a crazy metal song, but I will
No.
say if anybody
seems
is
more
not interested
psychedelic.
in metal, this song is still worth listening to.
It's literally 27 seconds, so it's not going to do you any harm to listen to it.
Yeah, and you'll have it as your ringtone for the next 38 minutes or whatever. So
Okay.
and then you're like,
And
this
then
is done.
it leads straight into, and I when the first time I heard this, I thought that these were the same songs. I'm like, no way, that's like its own thing, right? What I actually did, because I heard the following song, Children of the Grave, I went back, I'm like, ooh, I want to hear that intro again. And then it was just the intro to Children of the Grave. I'm like, where'd the cool intro go? And then I go back and I'm like, why did they make this a separate 27-second song? But it is separate and it is good.
Yeah.
Children of the Grave.
You get into Children of the Grave next, and it's just like, I feel like it's got a similar vibe to, let me pull up the track list real quick. It's got a similar vibe to Sweet Leaf, Lord of this World, and Into the Void. More similar to Lord of this World and Into the Void, though. It's just a heavy, like I said Ozzy said, this is the most ass-kicking song we've ever written, and I honestly, this is a great song for me, again, and awesome song, and... cool
Yeah,
guitar
I mean-
riff and throughout the whole song, and the production, and like I'll say throughout the whole time, the production on this album, that metal production, but it's like outdated
I agree.
or something. Is
Like I literally
it's
wrote
way
when
good.
I don't even really have much to say on this song. I just said Children of the Grave and Lord of this World are like more of the same classic like Sabbath sound. Good
Yeah,
hard
it
rock
doesn't
bangers.
throw you anything unexpected
No.
in this album. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's more like
It's like if
Sweet
you're just
Leaf
trying
and
to,
those
like-
two songs are
Then you
Kinda
got a
all
whole
in the
album
same
right here
bundle.
for that.
Yeah.
So, but then you got stuff like Embryo and Solitude that throw kind of a curveball, and I
Right.
feel like it picks up anywhere this album might miss out without those kinds of songs. If that makes sense.
I love how you're burping into the mic, not turning your head, just straight into the mic.
I'm burping in my own throat, so
have fun, listeners, with that one. Next, let's move on to the actual prettiest song.
you can always down tune the audio when I burp.
I say you crank it.
Should I crank it? I'll crank it.
So, Orchid is another like random short little aside, but this is
A
actually
little bit longer,
gorgeous.
3 times the length.
It's like this very. I think it's really impressive because the rest, most Black Sabbath is kind of like rock and punchy.
This is not that.
It's not
at all.
It's
At
like
all.
finger picking.
They have another one on their
plucky
4th album that's
acoustic
like
guitar.
this. That's also so good, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's really beautiful, melodic,
Just
soft
some
guitar
finger
playing.
picking of an acoustic, and I think there's 2
Gorgeous.
guitars
It's
in there,
really
and it
pretty.
just sounds really
It
nice.
it almost gives me the vibes of like, once again, it gives me. This is more like that Spanish style playing of guitar with the way that he moves his fingers.
Oh, you should hear
More-
the one on their 4th album, dude. That one's definitely recorded with a Spanish guitar.
Yeah.
This one doesn't sound as much like it was recorded with a Spanish guitar, but it very well could
Gives
have,
me
just
that
because it has
energy,
that
though.
vibe. Yeah.
It almost like it gives me warm imagery of like some like Middle Ages like villa in like some cottage, and there's just like
I
some
agree.
dude like sitting on some old bench just
agree.
playing the guitar in the Middle Ages.
Great song. I think
really
it's a great
pretty.
song.
It's a very pretty song, the prettiest song of the album. I actually love the song. It's a good song.
Right on. I think Embryo's a little bit better, but I couldn't take Embryo to a 3 and leave that at a 2, or I couldn't do vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I think Embryo's a little better, but for me, they both have the same score.
Don't you wish Embryo was longer though? 27 seconds.
3rd track, Embryo.
Develop
27
the
seconds.
song a little bit more.
No, I think I like it where it's at. I think
How can you love a song that's that short though? Like, how can you have that much emotion wrapped in 27 seconds?
I think that the fact that makes this, like, one of the characteristics that makes a song beautiful is the fact that it's 28 seconds, because it's like, it's not something you're gonna play every day. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be in your vibe playlist or whatever, because it's only 28 seconds, and so you're gonna, like, whenever it comes on, if you're at work or whatever, you're gonna forget that it even happened after it's over. So it's one of those songs that's a little more special because it's so short. It feels a little more special to me. It feels like, okay, when I listen to this album, if I had it on vinyl, which I wish I did, I probably
I'm
should.
shocked
I
you
got
don't.
worse albums on vinyl, so then it's one of those songs that if I played that, I'd be like, yes, like this song, you know, for a minute or half a minute. But
Yeah, literally for half
and that's
a
what
minute.
makes it awesome. Is I'm like, yes, this one song, but there's no way I'm throwing it in the vibe playlist.
When it came on, we both jammed out for those 27 seconds and
Yeah.
then went back. I've been having this running gag the entire time that the
Embryo's
only song
good
I like
song.
on this whole album is Embryo. But yeah.
Tony Iommi's a great guitarist, though. I think all this stuff goes to show.
Now let's move on to the actual best song on the. Oh wait, nope, wrong order. Not yet.
Lord of this World.
Lord of this World is
Another
is
one,
fine.
just like Children of the Grave. I think that they slowly get better. Though. I think Children of the
What?
Grave, then Lord of this World, and then Into the
What?
Void.
Actually, I thought Lord of this World. I thought it was okay, but I thought it lacked.
Good
I
song.
thought it lacked a little bit of what Sweet Leaf and Children of the Grave had. Just seemed a little sloppier.
I like that. The sludgy,
Yeah, I guess you like the
sludgy
sloppy.
metal.
But I didn't like it. It seemed like the drumming was like very, just like they
Off tempo or something.
not necessarily. It just felt a little messy. But I don't know. I wanted to sound a little more.
I think the
The
bass.
whole rest of the
and the
whole rest of the
guitar is the
album is
biggest thing for Black
on
Sabbath.
on time. But like this song just seems a little sloppier. I don't like his delivery as much on lyrically. Light of this world. Just a little like.
I like
it's
it.
all right. It's
I like it.
fine. I gave it an okay. It's fine. I definitely like it a whole lot more than whatever track 2
After
is.
Forever.
That song is bunk. This song's fine. This song's fine. I could see this song becoming a +1. I could not see Lord of this World or Jesus.
After Forever.
I could not see. I don't even want
No.
to remember that song's name. That's not becoming a +1. That song is. After I'm done with this, I'll probably never listen to that song again in my life.
I probably will a few times.
It's so lame. It just doesn't do anything for me. But
Lord of this
yeah,
World's
this song's
sick,
good.
though.
It's another hard rock banger. It's okay.
5.5
He says
minutes.
It's good. If you
Just
really
like
like,
Children
if
of
you
the
really
Grave,
love,
5.5 minutes. Lord of this
yeah,
Void,
if you
6
really love
minutes.
Sweet Leaf and Children of the Grave, you'll like the song. For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
But I think it's the weakest link of those three.
I think it's better than Children of the Grave. So, last song, Solitude. I had learned to play this song on guitar way back, and it's a beautiful song again. It's like what Embryo and Orchid you wish could have lived up to, and then it delivers for you.
Yeah. So this is like this brooding. It's more psychedelic for sure. Way more psychedelic. Yeah.
The lyrics
isn't
are
even
sick,
Ozzy
too.
Osbourne on vocals? Does not sound like him at all.
Hang on, I don't remember the song.
Distorted.
Let me put it up.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite albums ever, and I can't remember the song.
Literally,
Solitude,
like he
Black.
told me this is his top 10 favorite
It's getting
albums
in the
of all
top
time.
10 for
And
sure.
Let's
Black
give her a listen, eh?
No, I okay. My name, it means nothing. My
It
fortune
has that like crazy
is lead.
vocal effect.
Yeah, there's like some reverb on it or some delay, but they
I don't even
don't do
know
it
if that's-
stupid like Tame
I don't even
Impala
know.
does it. They do it good.
That's our next album, but I can tell that's on the mind.
Yeah, it is. Because the reverb's actually good on this.
It doesn't even sound like reverb. It sounds like he's
No,
talking
it's more
underwater. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, maybe they just EQ'd it weird. I don't know, but the vocals do sound sick. It's
Very
an
distorted.
awesome song.
It's got these cool sound effects. It's almost more of like this brooding psychedelic track than it is like a metal track at all.
I have actually cried to this song, and I played it. Well, just because I cried to a song doesn't mean that like I'm crying and then I put the song on. It's I put the song on and then I cried
hits
because
you.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But
It's a
this is also a song
great
that I'm
song.
crying before I listen to music and I throw it on.
Okay.
You know, this is one of those comfort songs. This is an amazing
It has
song.
it has this cool like spaced out sound. It sounds very distant as well. That's like a quintessential psychedelic track or psychedelic trope.
Yeah.
Has this deep bass line that just plays
Yeah, it's
like
great.
on loop all throughout it.
I could pick up my guitar and replicate that right now.
It's
but
cool.
I'm not going
It's
to,
a
but
really cool
it's
song. There's
catchy little guitar.
there's
and
like
it's great.
woodwinds or some there's like some wood.
Yeah.
It's like some just way in the distance.
Yeah,
like,
it sounds.
almost sounds
Everything
like you're in
sounds
a
distant,
forest.
kind of. Yeah.
And like someone way out there is playing it, and you're just picking it up. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's
like,
great.
The
It's
feel
great
of this
kind of
song is
mixing and
really
mastering
cool.
and production
I
all
do love
over.
the song.
So
There's even like some tambourine and bells just like distant in the background.
I don't think I ever caught that.
Yeah, dude. There is like, it almost just sounds like this, just like a little bit, just happening in the distance. It almost gives me like once again that forest imagery, like some like people are like doing some crazy like
Life is
ritual
happening over
way
there
back
somewhere.
in the forest, and you just hear like the distant
Right.
like shakes, and it's not like a cheesy tambourine where it's going on and on. It's just like little
Right.
rattles. It's like a hint of it. It's a really cool song because it evokes deep imagery in me, and gives like it's a really cool feel. I think you guys are all gonna like this song. It's really,
Absolutely.
really great.
Embryo,
I love this song.
Embryo, I would say listen to more than this.
What?
I would say listen to Embryo more than listen to this, because nobody
What?
cannot like Embryo. Nobody on this entire planet could not like Embryo.
No, because they're gonna be like, the song's short. What's the point? People are gonna be like, why is this song 27
Okay, well,
seconds?
let me just play it for 15 seconds, and I'll just say that it's a whole 20-minute song, and then they'll be like, okay, that song sounded awesome from what I heard.
Okay.
That will always happen. That conversation will always take place exactly like that, guaranteed. I don't think there's a single
it to
person ever
Maria.
that would. Okay, I
Show it
will.
to someone who's not
Yeah, I
familiar
think
with
everybody
rock.
would be like,
Richard,
okay, this sounds
Maria,
nice, yeah.
maybe
100%.
100%.
I think everybody would say, this sounds good.
If you hate Embryo, I'm
Don't be
talking
one
to
of
you.
those fuckers that just, I don't like Embryo. Like me. Don't be like me.
Yeah. Don't just dislike something because other people love it. No, seriously. If you genuinely dislike Embryo and have like a reason, throw it in the comments. I'd be very curious to see. I like Embryo, but Solitude is the best song on the album.
Solitude's
that song's
better than
amazing.
Embryo, I think, but I would more recommend Embryo.
Okay. Oh, you think
I don't know.
Embryo's
They
the
have the
most
same rating for me,
attachable
but everything
song.
kind of barely gets better than each other, you know? If we did decimals for our rating, then you would start seeing differences.
Okay.
But
I see. Into the Void. Last song.
Again, Lord of this World, Children of the Grave,
No,
Sweet Leaf.
dude, this is a whole nother tier above.
That's what I'm
dude.
saying. It goes Children of the Grave, and then Lord of this World gets better, and then Into this Void gets even.
This is
The bass.
the
dude.
bass is
Oh.
insane. It's almost as chuggy. Like you guys, you '90s guys, you know how Primus has that super chunky bass style that's just like insane. It sounds almost ridiculous how sludgy it is. This is almost
Yeah, I
that
do
level.
agree.
It's
I didn't make that
insane,
connection,
dude.
but yeah.
It's literally like
Yeah, it's because of that down tuning, I swear, bro. Since
It's
they down tuned
crazy. It sounds really cool.
Sounds 100% good.
100% good, guys.
It sounds 98%
the most
good.
metal Black Sabbath song I've ever heard. Do they get heavier than this song? At least in like this lineup, with this lineup. I
don't think so. It's probably,
and the riffs
their
are
heaviest
heavy
kind of
and
stoner
distorted.
song, so.
And like, I mean, it's like the classic Black Sabbath formula, but with the freaking metal aspect cranked a little bit. It's just boom. It's super distorted. It's awesome. The drumming is fast paced too. Freaking way cool. The lyrics are like classic Aussies, talking about like war and people are evil.
Yeah, lyrics are never anything that interesting.
It's kind of usually the same formula, but that midsection when it gets
Good
way
song.
like fast paced and the drumming is going way faster. This is like doing what they do best as well as they can do it.
I would agree. I think this is some of their best work. Into the
I
Void.
also love this song. It's Solitude and Into the Void are like complete opposites, but I love them both for almost opposite reasons.
I like them both because they're on the same album, honestly. Like the fact that this album is structured the way that it is, Orchid, Solitude, and Embryo living where they live within the album, creates the best experience for me. Like if they
it is good because it's like a back and forth. It's almost there's a term for a back and forth. A call and response. A call and response.
Oh, so a back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
You're calling with the calm, and then you're responding with some freaking metal, and then you're calling back with some calm, responding with some metal, like boom, smack you in the face.
Perfect.
Except After Forever, that song actually sucks. That song sucks.
I had it as, let's review our scores.
All right.
I had it as a 2 until just barely we started this episode. I put it down to a 1.
So I'm scared.
But I had been thinking about putting it down to a 1.
You have it your score is 184.
Listen. If I had it as a 2, which I originally had it at, it was at a flat 200. Everything's a 2. Everything is a 2.
200 for me is a top 10 album.
This is a top 10 album for me.
I guess.
But I brought it down 1, and now Ram beats it.
Wow.
Which I guess makes sense. I mean, Ram might be
105. I like it, but.
Yeah, it's
not.
Lord of this World a 0?
I told you that. I thought it was like okay of the bangers. It was okay leaning positive. After Forever's okay leaning negative.
You're about to be leaning left by the time I'm done with your fucking hip bones when you walk out of here, bro. I'm gonna fucking punch you.
Punch my hip? You're gonna punch my hip bone?
All right, I'm stuck like this.
No, it's good, but. I don't like the messy, sloppy drumming. I don't like his delivery. It's just like, it's the worst of the 3 like metal songs that are. I'm not even gonna count After Forever in the conversation, and Into the Void is like heavy enough for me to be in a whole different tier. So of those 3 that are all kind of in the same level, it's my least favorite.
Children of the Grave is my least favorite, but it's still 2. They're both all 2s. I love all of them.
Yeah, but you've had years with this album. I have had.
Everything's a 2 except for After Forever, which I just changed to a 1, which is I justify. I like it. I still like it.
Dang, I think straight solid 2s across the board.
Almost. That's why I was going to say you were going to be surprised with my score because it's the first album I've ever seen that probably ever will exist with just straight, all of them. I love every song. I love every song. Except for After Forever, I'm like, okay, it's a good song. But I can't love it. But everything else, straight 2s. If anything were to push to a 3, it would probably be either Solitude.
Embryo +3. I think it wouldn't change. It'd probably change. Just do it. I want to see what it changes the score.
Void.
Would it even change it to like 1 or 2 points? 2 points.
Up 2 points.
Wow, that's brilliant. May as well not change it then, eh?
Yeah, Solitude, if I changed that, 199. Dang. But then After Forever still killed it, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 2 is all across the board is what I'm going with. And
well, it's not. Minus the song that sucks.
Except for, After Forever. I still like the song.
Yeah.
But everything else, 2s. I love everything on this album. This album I love. I love this album.
I said
everything I love. I love this album. This album I love.
But Paranoid is way better.
No.
Yes.
No. This album is Black Sabbath's best album.
No.
100%.
No.
Yep.
Paranoid, War Pigs.
Okay. All right. War
Jack the
Pigs.
Stripper.
Jack the Stripper.
Electric Funeral is freaking sick. All of the Hand of Doom is sick. I haven't rated this album in a while, so
I
I'm
just
not even
don't
going
like
to show
Electric
these scores.
Funeral.
I'm not going to show these scores because these are irrelevant. But this has got to be like across the board ones. I'm pretty sure it's freaking awesome.
I don't know.
Electric
When we do
Funeral's
that album,
awesome.
it'll be interesting. I just don't like Electric Funeral is like the After Forever of that album. It'll probably be a 1, and then everything else will be 2s.
That album's
Just
better
kidding.
than this album.
Paranoid. I'm not a huge fan of
is
Paranoid.
sick, only because it's the song of the that. Let me
No,
guess, you don't really like
I only
Iron
like
Man
the
either?
solo. I like Iron Man. Iron
Oh,
Man's
okay.
sick.
That
I
actually
fucking
surprises
love
me.
Iron Man. The whole lyrics and everything, the whole story that they tell is amazing. In my opinion, I love Iron Man.
Okay, I'm impressed with that.
Paranoid, I'm not a huge fan of. Planet Caravan is probably one of my favorite.
yeah.
Or not Rat Salad and not Jack the Stripper. What's the other one? Go back to the track listing. Don't fuck with me. Just go back to the
I have to go out through like 20 albums.
whatever. Oh, there it is. Hand of Doom. Hand of Doom. The bass line.
Isn't that like instrumental?
I can't remember. I just remember the bass line being way sick and me having a good time with the song. But this album overall, I mean, fuck their second album with Paranoid. Is that what it's called? Paranoid? Whatever. Master of Reality. It's got to live up there in my top 10, maybe top 15, but I got almost 2s across the board, so.
Yeah,
184.
wait. I just
got a
realized
184.
I was mixing up a bit little aspects of Solitude with little aspects of
Orchid?
Planet Caravan, I think. Because the
They're
vocal
pretty
effect,
similar, though.
yeah, they're kind of the same vibe. The vocal effect on Planet Caravan sounds like
It's a
underwater.
little bit more accentuated.
Yes, Solitude is not so crazy. It is more of that like spaced out, like psychedelic, like echoey and distant.
Yeah.
But
Now I see
everything
what you
else,
mean.
everything
Planet
else,
Caravan definitely does.
yeah, it sounds kind of like underwater and bubbly and weird. Yeah, so I was mixing up the vocals, but everything else I do remember from this song, and it is a great psychedelic song. Dark. It's like dark psychedelia, almost like how the Doors is like psychedelic, but not in like a hippy dippy way. It's kind of more brooding and dark.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
would
more
agree.
of like
That's a good way to
that
put it. Yeah.
aspect of psychedelic, and I freaking love that stuff.
And then like
Good
Big
album.
Brother and the Holding Company would be like super light and stupid.
I don't know that band.
Well, they
I'd
suck.
I'd say Magical Mystery Tour is light and stupid psychedelic, but you like that album. So
Dude, they do more interesting shit with their instruments. All right.
Whatever.
Anyways, that's that's
Oh, recommend?
recommend or no?
Listen to Paranoid, guys. What are you doing? There's a reason no one talks about this album. Paranoid is better.
All right. If you're a Black Sabbath listener, I'm recommending this over any other album. Or if you're a metal listener at all, I'm recommending this over any other album. Am I recommending it to just anybody though? No.
Nah.
No.
You gotta be into like
You got to be
harder
into a little bit
stuff.
heavier stuff.
And this obviously isn't heavy.
Which I'm not even
by-
into heavy stuff, but I still like it. So at least give it a chance. I mean, come on. If you're
Yeah, that's a
watching
good
this,
point,
then you
actually,
might as
you
well.
don't like heavy metal, or metal much as at all as a genre. I like metal a lot more than you.
I like the way Sabbath
And
does
even
metal.
still-
I like the way they produce, and I like Sabbath. I like Sabbath.
Yeah, who
Best
doesn't?
metal- best
I've never
metal
heard anyone be
band.
like, "Yeah, actually, Sabbath sucks."
For real.
They probably like would push their glasses up after saying it, and be like, "Glasses." Yeah, exactly.
What's a Black Sabbath?
Wipe their boogs
Or
on
whatever,
it or
yeah.
something. Cringe.
Probably forgot to return their fucking library book.
For real.
Um,
And if you're not one of those fools with the glasses and the library book overdue, then it's probably a decent album.
I've got a library
But
book
do
that's like
Paranoid
8 years overdue in the shelf over here.
in your sentimental shelf.
Yep.
Let's go. All right,
Anyways.
guys, that was a quick album.
105, and I got a 184.
I like it, and you love it.
I
That's
love
fair.
it.
Yeah,
I love the album.
Paranoid's better. I'll catch you on
No,
the
it is
flip.
not.
Catch you on the flip
And
dip.
I have the final word. We're ending the video now.